Hey YouTube, it's the Plumber Racing videos here. I wanted to give you an update on my dash. I got to use my phone here because I just made a whole bunch of videos, but I lost them all on my GoPro, and I just want to make a video for you guys quick so you see my progress so I can continue. But as you can see, I ripped out my dashboard and I hacked it for parts. I'm almost done with the second one here, so it was time to disconnect this one here from the rig. And I just wanted to show you what cards I had in it. I didn't have all these in it, but I had most of them in it. But I just want to show you this one here is the focus. That one there is the DLC 247. Okay, I had the three 6-digit displays. These two are going to be new. That's going to be lap position. That's going to be laps remaining. The SPID. GI Max, gear indicator max. There's another 247 then that I had ordered. This is the Pro gauge. Here's where all your gauges get plugged into here. This here is Rev Burner. I'm going to continue using the Rev Burner. I think I can use Pro gauge, but I'm just going to go Rev Burner and just keep it in there. And that one there is Pro Shift, and I use this for a lot of the lighting and stuff. See, there's the 3 zones, and then I can also put 4 toggle switches on there as well. Alright, so I made my new panel and all that stuff, so I started fitting in the displays and stuff, and let me get the new panel up here in a second here. Okay, this is the new dashboard. As you can see, I have my rotary encoders over here. I have more rotaries and push buttons over here. This one here is only going to have 2 more rotary encoders. The rest are going to be some toggle switches, some lights, TeamSpeak, volume, mute, mostly communications and other stuff over here on this one. This one here is going to be mostly car setup and adjustments and various things. I might have like 3 extra rotaries on this end, so I left myself some expansion room just in case iRacing does something. Let me show you how I did this here quick. Alright, this is this one here is almost done. Here are my track condition flags, okay, and what I did was I put them on ribbon cable and I added pin headers, so I'll just be able to plug these right into whatever I mount. In this case here I have a JC32 joystick controller, and this here, there's a mount over here, and that is for a DLC 247. So I think this is the way I'm going to pretty much do it. I picked up some brass standoff brackets to mount my boards to. And I got these longer ones here as well, and these kind of work nice for just toolless screws to attach the board to. Let me go get the DLC 247. Alright, so the DLC 247 in this particular case, I'm going to mount right there. Okay. What I did was I took all these rotaries and I just split them down the middle, and I put 2 rows on this side, 2 rows on this side. You use 3 wires. I found this flat 3-wire bell cord, I guess they would call it. And this worked nice. It's going to be real easy to maneuver and get everything connected. Now the rotary controller is going to have 3 wires on it. Let me see. We have a red, a black. Here we go. We have a red, a black, and a green. I guess I can't get close enough. There we go. So the red and the black are going to be going onto the board, and the greens are all going to be getting tied together and then going onto the board. Okay. Down here, these 2 last harnesses here are push button switches. So each side here is going to have 7 push button switches, total of 14 pretty much. And then the rotary encoders over here. This one here isn't quite done yet. I'm waiting for 2 more encoders. I'll put 2 more here. These are toggle switches and everything to turn on the car, starter, pit speed limiter. I think I might have 1 or 2 lights in here for TeamSpeak, mute, and other stuff like that. Okay, so now the face of it is here, right? And this is how I'm doing this now. Okay, I just used those brass standoffs to give me some space in between, so I can get all my lights and everything down in here, and they can pop up through here, through some holes and whatnot, and give me this whole surface area to mount a lot of all these boards on here. Which, like I said, some boards will be mounted in these here guys, but most will be mounted onto the back of the dash. So now, from my mock-up that I made, alright, my intention was to have these 2 partitions mounted onto the back of this, but I chose to do it in aluminum, and the aluminum's too flimsy, and I had to strengthen up the aluminum, so I went this route. The next thing I did was all those wires that I made up right here. Remember, I was twisting these wires. Well, till you get a bunch of these together, this is a lot of wire, and it was way too much wiring for inside that box, so I had to reconfigure all that. In fact, these here are the lights for track condition lights or something that I had in there temporarily just to see, and it was just way too thick. So I had to come up with something different, and here's what I came up with. Okay, these are the wiring harnesses that I made for my dash. Like I said, that wire was way too thick, so what I chose to do was I chose to go with ribbon cable, okay? And so I just took old IDE hard drive cables and pulled them apart and used what I needed. Okay, so this here is my throttle position lights. These here are brake position, which I think these should be red and not blue, but who knows if I'm going to leave them or not. There's a set of track condition lights, which in this case we're including a red because iRacing does support a red flag, and I don't have a red flag light on my dash, so I'll put one in there just in case. Whatever. I've never seen a red flag in iRacing, so what else do we have? This here harness is gauge warning lights. I put an extra warning light on every gauge. I have a red one and an orange one. And the orange one is going to be a pre-warning to the iRacing gauge, okay? Again, I can't see any of my gauges, so I have no clue. So at least when this orange one goes on, you know, it'll let me know that the iRacing gauge is going to be lighting up soon. And I also have an audible alarm that I'm going to try to put in so that when my oil temperature does go high, or no, it's water temperature, it'll beep an audible alarm. I think I'm going to try that, throw that in, see what happens. So, that's pretty much the harness. There's a couple more on there, track condition lights and whatever. And then all these here are on 3 DLC 247 splitters, okay? So these here, boom, plug right into the DLC 247. That's one DLC 247 used up. Basically, all with lighting, okay? Again, I have a little, you know, we're gonna have all the gauge lights. I have track condition lights over here, I think. I put them on the side of these wings. And yeah, so that's what that takes up. These are cables that I made up for these 6-digit displays. Alright? I just didn't like the way the pins, the wires were and all that stuff, and I wanted custom cables, so I made these up with single pin headers and then soldered in. Now, if you remember from my last video, I was soldering these up. I was taking the forks out of the dual row pin headers. I was taking the forks out and soldering them on to wiring like this. Okay, and what I found was that from removing these and putting them back in, I must be screwing something up inside the pin header, because when I go to put the pin header on something, the wires don't stay in it. They pop out. So I had to change the way that was going. So what I did was, I went and I got all single row pin headers. This is a 40 pin pin header. And so all I do is I break off what I need and use it up. And that's what these are. That's what these here are. If you see, I got 2 separate track condition light setups, okay, on one 10-pin connector. So this will go right onto a DLC 247, and that works all my lights for this particular harness anyway. And that's how I wanted it. Easy change, just easy connectivity, and excuse me. All right. So now, trying to think if there's anything else. I'm going to start plowing through this here now. I want to get all these displays cut out. I do have these 3 cut out, and these fit absolutely perfectly. Now I'm going to have so nice I can put them in with one hand. I'm going to have standoff brackets. Come on. Got to be the glare. The aluminum is not. I can't get the stupid phone to focus in. Wow. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that fits really nice. So I have those 2 to go in. So I got to cut the other ones in over here, over here, over here, and that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'm just trying to think if there's anything I missed that I wanted to tell you. I got new gauges. I'm going to use these SunPro Whiteface. Now I do know of somebody using SunPro gauges, so I do hope they work. I'm not into the Sim Project gauges. Those will be for sale. So if anybody wants them, you got to have a PayPal account, and you let me know. And yeah, so we're going to start working on everything here. Oh yeah, there is one more thing. To plug all these boards in, I'm going to need a lot of USB ports. So, let me get this out. So what we're going to do, on the back of here, is I bent this up. That's going to go right in the middle there. Same size as this. Okay, that's going to go right in the middle there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my 7-point port USB hub right there in the middle. Okay, that way I can get wiring through, get some holes through here and maybe through here and everything, and plug in and then right out to the back. Alright, and then here's just a sample piece of aluminum. I got to bend the right size, but and then this can go, this will end up being riveted right on top, a little bit above the full width. That way I can, if I need to get a board or here onto a board or 2 on here, then I can get that. I can get that in there. I can also utilize the sides of this in certain spots to mount some more of these boards, because you got to remember, I'm going to have a tack coming out here. I'm going to have gauges coming out here. Okay, and the gauges really don't fully come out. The gauge, that's a temperature gauge, alright. It is kind of thin, and so it works out nice is it is the same distance. So this gauge, the only thing that's going to be popping out through the back here are going to be these 3 mounting brackets and then the light. So I just either need to drill a small hole for all these, or I make it anal and drill the individual holes that pop through. Because then I can also get a nut on there and fasten it, and it could get nice and solid. So yeah, so that's the other thing, was getting that USB port in there, that hub, so I can connect everything there. And then I'll just end up making a box and just sticking this in, that's all. So that's what we've come up with so far. Where am I? Here we go. Hopefully Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'll get some more progress done on it tonight and make up another video and go from there. If you liked the video, like and subscribe and share it around, please. Alright. See you, YouTube. Back to work.